Hello and welcome. This session has been recorded, but we will be sharing the recording by email with everyone registered. This is just a reminder of the controls here. Have the chat icon and the reactions icon in case you want to use them. And as all of our presentations here at Railroads, we like to begin by acknowledging that we are located on the traditional lands of the Kusapsun and Lakongan families, and it has been a long tradition of teaching and learning of these lands. I'm Francisco Levi, and I'm an education specialist here at Railroads University. And I'm so excited to be here with Dr. Zoë Macleod, Vice President of Professional and Continuing Studies. Welcome, Zoë, to explore this exciting program. We're here with some folks that you can't see in video, but will be in our chat box. So a big thank you to Tracy Summers and Nancy Prevost. Tracy's from our enrollment team, and it's here to helping answer any questions that come from today's session. So this is our agenda today. And before we get into the agenda, I would like to know a little bit about you. You can say hi here and see some messages in the chat. So I'll explore our day. Our day is going to look like a brief overview of the Railroads University experience. Then we will move into a program overview and cap off with the application process and requirements walkthrough. Of course, we will leave time at the end of today's session for any questions that have come up. But please feel free to pop questions in the chat box as they come up for you. We're more than happy to engage as they come. So here we go. I'm going to start with our values. What we value here is we see life as a qualification. Our doors are always open with the purpose of doing things differently. And they remain open for you, folks. So you will find here profs who know your name, and our learning is based on life. Our students are actually the ones that bring real challenges from the workplace into the classroom, and that makes it very interesting. You will find here connections for life, and you will see we are built differently, with so many reasons, including our online learning component from the very beginning. I'm going to jump into our space. I want to show you a couple of pictures of our campus, of the place we are here. Here you can see some photos of our iconic building, the Hadley Castle, right here. Close by, we have our Japanese gardens, and on the bottom right, you can see the Esquimalt Lagoon located in front of our castle. That's such a beautiful location. We are so lucky to have this beautiful physical space. But besides this, we have actually been moving in online learning for over 25 years as well. So with that, I'll pass the microphone over to Dr. Zoë Macleod to tell us more about this program.
Thank you so much, Francisco. Welcome, and thank you for your interest in our graduate certificate in change management. As Francisco mentioned, my name is Zoë Macleod. I'm the Associate Vice President for Professional and Continuing Studies here at Railroads. And our portfolio is quite broad. We do everything from one-day virtual courses to 4-week online professional advancement offerings to 6-month graduate level certificate programs, and almost everything in between, including micro-credentials, professional certificates, customized programming for organizations. And as you will likely have seen, career paths are being altered by the pandemic. and now labor market disruptions. That might be even why you are here today. There is an increasing need for lifelong learning, for upskilling, reskilling, or taking a new career path. And it really is vital, I think, for all of us to continue learning, and those of us in the workforce to navigate change, and for those who are entering or re-entering to be ready with the skills and knowledge to be successful. There are so many opportunities and so many programs to enhance your learning, your competence at skills at Royal Roads, and today we're going to talk a little bit about leading change. So why change management? It is a very good question. Many of us are asking ourselves how we lead through change these days. You might actually be tasked with leading change in your organization, or you might see your career path unfolding as an effective, perhaps in-demand change management practitioner, which is somewhat advisable to have these skills. There's never been a better time to learn how to effectively lead change. And of course, leading change can help improve business workflows and processes, is known to decrease project overhead, can improve organizational culture, can create a more attractive and fulfilling workplace, which is pretty important in today's labor market. It can also help foster a greater ability to overcome obstacles to change and create an openness for innovation inside organizations, and thus also building organizational agility. These days, we're seeing change management really integrated with organizational strategy. So it's not even unobtainable or unthinkable to suggest that you actually need change management as part of your organizational strategy. And this program is intentionally designed to help you build all of those skills and to add all of those competencies to your change leadership skill set. So I'm going to slip over to the next slide, which talks about the 3 courses in the program. We're going to give you just a really high-level overview of the graduate certificate in change management today. And then, of course, if you have additional questions or you want to talk more about it, please reach out to me and or to any of our enrollment advisors as we get rolling. But today, we're going to talk about these 3 courses. It's essentially 3 3-credit courses, and throughout the program, we're going to be exploring and learning how to master the skills and competencies required to become a certified change manager. And what do we as leaders in organizations need right now and into the future? What's going on in organizations where people need assistance navigating change? And from a high-level perspective, we're going to be looking at how the world of work is shifting. What does it take to help people create positive change in their organizations while navigating complexity and ambiguity? And as we all know, the world of work has changed. The way we work has changed. The way we learn has changed. The way we live has changed. So in this particular program, we're going to approach change management from a whole systems perspective. And we're going to examine the processes and methodologies used for developing successful change management initiatives. So you will also explore capacity building, strategic alignment, and tools that drive measurable objectives within the context of change management. If there was ever a more important time to learn about leading change, this is it. It really is interesting how we're going to be approaching organizational life moving forward from the pandemic, and the necessity of requiring skilled practitioners and leaders who understand the complexities of change in a very unpredictable and constantly changing world. So it's the right time, and I hope you decide to join us. I'm going to talk a little bit about each of the courses, and so we'll go into the next slide. Thanks, Francisco. The program starts with our first course, Setting the Foundation for Positive Organizational Change. And this course consists of a 2-week online introduction where you have the chance to orient yourself to the platform, get connected with your fellow students, faculty, and program support team. You'll have the opportunity to access readings and get prepared for the 5-day in-person intensive this fall at September 19th to the 23rd, 2022. And then throughout this intensive, this week that you will be on campus, we will focus on a number of things, including mindful approaches to collaboration and bringing change management processes to the forefront of the strategic organizational initiatives that you're working with. You will explore the challenges and prospects of leading meaningful change, and gain a better understanding of emerging perspectives and wise practices in change leadership. One of the things that we do in this particular program and a few others at Royal Roads is what we call a leadership challenge. You will engage in a change leadership challenge with an external organization, and you're going to work with your teams to provide recommendations to the organization. It's actually a really fun and engaging opportunity to bring sort of a live case study, a real live case study, into the organization and into your learning. So we'll look at leading practices related to diversity, cultural competence, resilience, adaptability. There may be references to intergenerational workplaces, health and well-being, virtual and remote working environments, and several approaches to leading through complexity and ambiguity. And this course, the first course, actually finishes at the end of the program with a 3-day virtual capstone in the spring. And in that capstone, you will actually demonstrate your learning from the full program, including the online courses, which I'll talk about next. So course 2, Leading Strategic Systems and Culture Change, is the first of 2 9-week facilitator-led online courses. And I should mention that our faculty and facilitation teams for the program are what we call scholar practitioners, pracademics, if you will, each working with or in organizations and supporting change leadership initiatives. So they're on the ground working with organizations and have street cred, if you will, for the content areas that they're working. In this particular course, you'll have the opportunity to delve further into systems thinking, organizational culture, and creating an actual change management strategy. You might be bringing an organizational change challenge with you, and if you're not, perhaps you're currently unemployed, or this is a career path change for you, we'll work with you to ensure that we can find one for you. But you will conduct a current state analysis and a change readiness assessment. You'll be considering potential degrees of change, impacts on the organization, and really this is the opportunity for you to create a compelling argument, including a business case for change and a clear vision for a desired future. You will consider, communications, engagement strategies, how to inspire and engage stakeholders around a common purpose, and hopefully collaboratively create those new directions. And then the work in this course will culminate in aligning all of these elements in the creation of a compelling change strategy. So throughout this course, you are really invited to reflect on being strategic rather than doing strategy. The third course is called Advanced Models, Methodologies, and Measurements, and it's the final online course. And you will explore tools, some tools to be employed before and during planned changes and personal transitions. In this course, you take the lens of viewing organizations and communities as systems, and you examine the key levers for effective change and how to integrate these into the change planning process. It might be that you're exploring some ideas of change, including appreciative inquiry, whole systems change, how does project management connect to change management, and you will certainly apply your developing knowledge and examine why change efforts fail. Most importantly, the roles that leaders play in ensuring that change initiatives are successfully implemented. And this is really the opportunity for you to learn the leading practice for evaluation of change, implementation first, evaluation, measurement, and then sustainment of the change, building on your action plan for change. So that's in a nutshell, the 3 particular courses. As we mentioned, they are 9 credits, so each course is 3 credits. It is a blended model in the sense that you come to campus for 3 days or for 5 days in September. The capstone is a virtual capstone at the end of the program. And really what an amazing and if not opportune, perhaps even a little bit tricky time to be exploring leadership and change from an organizational perspective. You will also have access to online learning supports. And so you'll see that we provide a number of learning management systems and tools that you'll have access to. You'll have various supports from the library, career management, computer services, truly a full team of supports that care about your learning journey and care about you. This might be a bit overwhelming. Often our students are a little bit nervous about starting an intensive program, and I will tell you that you can do it. You can do it while you're working, and you can do it while you're living your life. It's possible, and we're here to support you throughout the program. And on the other side, which I'll talk about on the next slide. So we have purposely designed this program so that you can gain competence and confidence in change management and leadership. And when you leave Royal Roads, you will join a community of alumni that are networking, connecting, and sharing their experiences and often job opportunities. And Royal Roads is also a qualified education provider for the Association of Change Management Professionals. This program, the Graduate Certificate in Change Management, aligns with both ACMP's Standard for Change Management, aka the Standard, and also Leading Practices in Adult Education. You have the opportunity to continue learning in this field along with your professional colleagues in the association after you are finished the Royal Roads program. And I strongly suggest getting connected with the Association of Change Management Professionals if this is the space that you're wanting to play and nurture in your career. You will have access to leading edge learning as you continue your lifelong learning journey in this space. So that's it. That's a quick high-level overview of the program. Thank you for listening. I should also mention that we always have new programs in the works. Don't forget to check back. If there's something that you think we should be building and we don't have it, don't hesitate to offer suggestions. And if you aren't sure you're ready for a graduate certificate, we also offer smaller bites of learning. Take just one of the courses and you can stack them into the full program. Or you can even start smaller with a short online or virtual course. You can learn more about all of our professional advancement courses and certificates on our website at pcs.royalroads.ca. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass it back over to Francisco, who's going to tell you about the application process and a little bit more logistical details. So back to you, Francisco.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Yes, we will dive into the application overview now. If anyone has questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box as we're moving forward here. We like to start by letting you know what the admissions requirements to these programs are. So here at Royal Roads, we have two admissions pathways, standard admissions as well as our flexible admission. So standard admissions require us a completion of either an undergrad 4 years or comparable degree, or a graduate degree in arts, business, or environmental studies, or another related field, at least 3 years of relevant full-time work experience as well. To look at flexible admissions can also be conceptualized as the professional pathway. So for those learners who may not have a traditional academic background, but have been working in their field for a set period of time and have acquired that lived experience that is so relevant and appreciated in our classrooms. We normally require at least 5 years of relevant full-time work experience. We do assess our flexible admissions on a case-by-case basis. So if you're interested in learning more about what flexible admissions could mean for you, please connect with our offices, as we are more than happy to explore that with you. Now I'm gonna jump into the application. So here, a quick snapshot of the application process. It begins with an online application, which includes a fee of $131.39 Canadian dollars. And once that's in, we then look for some supporting documents. As you can see here, we look for official transcripts, personal statement, a detailed resume, as well as 2 letters of reference. If you head to our website, we have some guiding questions as to what you should look at answering in that document. For the detailed resume, we have some information as well as to how that resume can be structured. And for the official transcripts, And the letters of reference, we have some guidance as to how those documents can be submitted to. The upcoming intakes, we're just around the corner to the start of this program. So this program will begin on September 6th, 2022, putting its application deadline at June 12th, 2022, or you can prepare for our next intake in 2023 with more time in advance. So if you have any questions about upcoming intakes, please connect with us. We can provide you with that information. On this same slide, you can see exactly who you should be connecting with. So you can connect with Tracy Summers and her team at learn.more@royalroads.ca or learn.more.international@royalroads.ca for the ones who are joining us from abroad. There's also a phone number if you prefer to call us. And the financial aid, our financial aid and awards specialists have resources available to you both internally and externally. So if you like to learn more about loans, awards, scholarships, or other types of funding, please connect with our financial aid and award specialist. Here on the slides, we have their website noted, as well as their direct phone lines. They are very excited to hear from all of you. And with that, we have come to the end of the presentation portion of our webinar today. I'm going to stop sharing the slides. But before that, take a peek at the I'll take a peek at the chat box, as well as some questions that were submitted by folks who are unable to join us live but are looking forward to our recording. Just a sec here. Okay. So we have a popular question here. How many hours can I expect to be putting towards to be part of this program while I'm working full time? And Zoe, can you help us with that one?
I can. So outside of the residency component, so while you were in on campus at Royal Roads, that obviously would be a full-time requirement. So you'd need to be here for those 5 days. And then when you're in the online space, we often suggest that you'll probably be spending between 15 and 20 hours a week. It really will depend on your own time management skills, and we strongly recommend that as this is graduate level learning and you need to start thinking about how you're managing those things. We will give you tips and tricks for how to do that most effectively, but it will again depend on how much time you want to put in as well, because as you all know, when you get passionate and excited about a particular topic area, you might go down a rabbit hole and you spend more time there. So realistically, in the online courses, you'll likely have some live webinars with the instructors, and those will be set up in advance. We usually try to manage them around time zones for people. If everybody is working full time, they'll likely be outside of the working hours. They're usually recorded in case you can't make them. And then you will be working with your team in a cohort that is mainly working professionals, so folks who are either middle to senior leaders in organizations coming together to learn about how to lead change in organizations. So I'm not sure if that exactly answers your question, but it can take 15 to 20 hours a week, which there is no set time that you need to be online every day unless there is a specific webinar that's happening. So if you're a morning person, you might choose to get up every morning for an hour and do your reading or work on an assignment, etc. So it really is up to you. And I see Nancy has a question as well about the cohort. The class size is somewhat dependent on what's happening in the world. Last fall we had about 35 students in the cohort. Usually break those into teams, and as mentioned, it is kind of various levels of sort of seniority, I guess, in organizations, mostly middle to senior level managers. We will see some folks coming in who are doing an executive MBA and taking this as part of their program. So you will really likely learn the most from your cohort and from the colleagues in the program.
There's another question from Derek. How team-based is the curriculum?
Yeah, in this particular program, it's relatively team-based. I think it's pretty hard to do change management on your own. And so it really is the opportunity for us to learn with and from each other. The people that come into the program will definitely offer different levels of experiences and expertise and networking opportunities, and so there will be team assignments, but there will also be some individual assignments as well. So it's not just all team-based across the way. Hope that answers your question, Derek.
Right. Do we have any more questions?
Thanks.
It did. All right. It seems okay, so with that, we may have come to the end of our question and conversations, unless there's anything else you would like to add, Zoe?
Nothing to add other than please do feel free to reach out if anyone has any questions, you want to tackle some of the content, or you're interested in facilitators or faculty or what it really looks like. Happy to put you in touch with alumni if that's of interest. We have many who are happy to rave and say good things about their experiences. So please do feel free to connect. The presentation here is simply that, a presentation and a high-level presentation, and happy to talk with you if you have more questions.
Thank you, Zoe, and thank you all for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where and when you're watching this. And we are here to continue the conversation anytime. So we look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye-bye.